How's everybody doing out there? This is Andrew. Just wanted to bring you a new video here. And this is probably one of the coolest, easiest tricks for helping basically your children before they even turn 18 to get near perfect credit. And this also works for a spouse or significant other. If they have no credit or bad credit from their past, you can help them greatly with this. And it's a super easy trick. It's something that a lot of people don't even know about, which is crazy. I found out personally once I was an adult that my father basically had credit cards in me, my brother, and my sister's names when we were like 6 or even younger, where it basically built our credit. Sorry, I'm on my phone real quick to pull up proof, I guess, for you folks. Let's see here. So I was born in 1988. Now I have my American Express login for my American Express card, and it says member since '94. Let's see if this can focus here. There we go. Good afternoon, Andrew, member since 1994. Now I was born in 1988, so that means that I've been an American Express customer since '94, which means I was 6 years old when I had my first credit card, which obviously I had no idea. So essentially this trick is meant for people that already have good to excellent credit. So if you're a parent, a father, mother, whoever you are, you want to have good credit to use this trick. If you have bad credit, there's no reason why you want your children to start off with bad credit. Or if you have debt, or you're not in a financially stable spot, please do not do this until you are. Now, it's super easy. Literally, you take whatever credit card you use. Let's say you only have one card. You essentially add your children as authorized users, or this could be for your significant other or your spouse. You just add them. You can log on to your account where you pay your credit card, and there is always a spot where you can add an authorized user. It'll always ask for their full name, birth date, and we're going to go into in just a second. It'll ask for their social security sometimes, and then a mailing address so they can mail you a card with their name on it. Super simple trick, adding your children as authorized users. Now I'm going to switch screens here. We're going to go to my monitor. Excellent. So in this article, which I will link in the description down below, it states everything basically I just said, adding a child to or as an authorized user, and this is talking about minimum age requirements. And in this, let's see, in this spreadsheet here, it shows all of the major credit card issuers. All of them allow minors, so you can add minors as authorized users with all these banks here. There is minimum ages for certain ones, so I guess American Express implemented a minimum age. In my case, this was back in 1994, my dad was able to add me as an authorized user when I was 6, so obviously this rule has changed. But essentially here, most of these cards, Bank of America, Capital One, Chase, Citibank, and Wells Fargo have no minimum age. So let's say you had a child tomorrow, you could add them as authorized user when they're 1 day old, and they'd have great credit. They'll have 18 years of credit history before they turn 18, which would be awesome for them. Essentially, I use my Chase card. I've got a bunch of credit cards, but I use my Chase Amazon Prime card a lot because I use their subscribe and save program for lots of home items that we use here. I've got a wife, 3 children. They're 7, 6, and 3, by the way, years old. And I get my toilet paper, my diapers back when the kids were younger, all those kind of things delivered to my door because they offer a discount if you do 5 things per month. I'll make a separate video about that. But here, so essentially I added my children to my Chase Amazon Prime credit card, all 3 of them as authorized users, and I also did them under one of my Bank of America cards, only because I just recently did this, so I don't have like my kids' credit report yet. But in this box here, it says Social Security number required, and I know that with the Chase card, it just asks their name and birth dates and where they live. but it didn't ask for the social security number, which makes me a little hesitant. I know eventually it should pop up on their credit report or credit history if I were to run it. But Bank of America, it does ask for their social security number, so I know for sure that it'll match their name, their social, and then create a new credit report for them. I don't know how big of a deal it is, but I like how it asks for the social security number, so it can attach their name, their social, and say, boom, we know who this child is, and we're going to start their credit history there. That's essentially the trick, and it's super easy. I'm surprised how few people know this. Where I work, I asked one of my managers the other day, and he's in his 40s and has a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I asked if he knew about this, and he had no idea. And I told him, and I think he's going to go home and do that if he wants his children to have good credit. Now, there is 2 caveats to this. First one, that I already mentioned in the beginning. If you have bad credit, do not do this, because you will negatively affect your children's credit. You need to be in a stable position financially, have zero to a little to zero debt. Don't make late payments and all that stuff. Anything that happens to you with the card that you authorize your children to or your spouse to, it's going to affect their report. So you only want positive things, not negative. So that's first caveat. Second caveat is if you do this for your children, before they turn 18, you probably want to have a conversation with them and inform them, how you've helped them and where, not necessarily how you helped them, just inform them of this, because in my case, I didn't know my dad did this, and I was a 18-year-old freshman in college, and I literally went to Best Buy one day to go buy a monitor because my monitor broke for my computer. And I grabbed the monitor and I went to the front, and they asked if I wanted to apply for the Best Buy credit card. And I was like, okay, I have a credit card that my dad gave me that I am allowed to, fill my car with gas. But okay, instead of paying cash today, I can do it on a credit card. And I did the application on the spot, and to my amazement, blew my socks off. They're like, oh, you're approved for $10,000. Now, 18-year-old, I had no concept of really what it took to make $1. And I went crazy. I went back in the store and I bought a whole computer. I think I bought a whole sound system and huge speakers and stuff. I literally think I spent like $7,000 on that credit card that day, because it's like, oh, I've got available credit $10,000. I can spend $10,000. That is not how credit cards work. You owe the money back. It's not just free money. So please have a conversation with your children before they turn 18 or when they turn 18. Let them know that you got them started. You gave them a head start in life, or in the credit world at least. I mean, it's not really life, but you just let them know that you gave them a head start, and please just tell them that credit is not money. Your available credit is just a bank allowing you or loaning you money, and in the hopes that you'll spend a bunch and then not be able to pay your balance, and then you'll owe them interest forever, and yada, yada, yada. So the 2 caveats already explained. Make sure your credit's good before you do this, and make sure your children know that credit is not money. It's not cash. So everybody have a good day. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, pop them down there. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel.